Right, this is like part 2. It's something which I didn't know in 1992, 93. I didn't know what the heck was going on. That's like 26 years ago. And they are about to wrap this planet up. It ain't no doubt in my mind that they about to wrap this planet up. Like a lot of stuff was told to me in 2014. That's when I met my twin flame. And they did tell me about Bobby. And at that time I ain't see Bobby wasn't even around. He wasn't even in the neighborhood no more. But they let me know his father was a marker. And I still didn't get it. And why Who was so important, because Who's mother, like Who was from the church. See, and they guess what the name of their church was? Mount Carmel. What do we know about Mount Carmel? That's where Elijah stood on Mount Carmel. Now, what do you know about Elijah? He's the one that left in the chariot of fire, which is what y'all call a rapture, but we call the ascension. You understand? So all this shit is not a joke. And the reason why a lot of y'all don't get it, because it's happening like personally. So because it's happening personally in my life, y'all might not see it. Y'all think it's irrelevant. But a lot of y'all ain't been paying attention. I mean the ones that have been listening to me for a while. A lot of y'all ain't been paying attention, doing what I tell you to do as far as from the spirit. A lot of y'all ain't walking in the spirit. And that's why all I can warn you to be careful. And also warn you again to repent. And then after that, I got my own life to live. So this is like part 2. This was a song, a rap that I wrote in 92, 93 area. But it was actually Archangel Gabriel. Let me know. So you had to listen to part 1 to get the beginning of the song and everything. Because I'm going back in. If I can remember what I said. 4 dead, but Rover it ain't over. They killed Nadine, she'd be alive if I was sober. Okay, so I want to go back. Stooping low and fight inside the 4 doors. Fucking whores, motherfucking silly rabbits. I get sore like Billy Martin. Start shooting wigs of cabbage. It's a habit wherever I go. The night ends in a tub of blood flow. 4 dead, but Rover, it ain't over. Now when I say Rover, again, that's the dog, but that's the ruler of hell, called Anubis. Set. And then 4 dead. So anything with 4 in the Bible is talking about these angels. But Rover, it ain't over. Because that's what she said. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, the curse was put on them. So spiritually speaking, they would be dead. But it wouldn't be over. Because there would come a time of mercy. 4 dead. But Rover, it ain't. But they on hell on earth. So whatever leader is allowed to rule over them, that's like Anubis. Because he's the ruler of hell. And that's why when they say Babylon is sitting on the beast, they're almost telling you she's on the throne of Anubis. And then when you see that red dragon, again, it's still fire. Because what is the dragon known for? Fire. So even though they're using different words and different animals and creatures, it's saying the same thing. And in Revelation 12, when that red dragon comes before the woman, the reason why that red dragon stands before the woman, because he works for her. And that's why she rides the beast. And now it's time for her to liberate those children. So-called the man-child. And man-child, because the children are the children of Israel, and that man is the son of man. But that real son of man is Gabriel. Coming in the clouds. With the trumpet voice. And the reason why he has a rod of iron in Revelation 12, because that's her rod. Because Gabriel has always been the execution of the Most High God. 4 dead, but Rover, it ain't over. They killed Nadine, she'd be alive if I was sober. But again, that's the drunken. Babylon the Great is drunken. And even Nadine is N.A., but that dude's mother's name is like N.A. Her name is a version of like Anne, but it starts with an N.A. Like if you have a nanny or some sort of shit like that. 4 dead. But Rover, it ain't over. They killed Nadine, she'd be alive if I was sober. I aim to get his woman and rock her. Time to put my wig up. Here comes the helicopters. Now that wig is the hair again. So now it's the ascension. And those helicopters that's coming, he said, time to put my wig up. Here come the helicopters. Now he's doing that so he can't be identified. So he's covering up his head with the hoodie. And then it's funny because that's all M is doing right now. Because like I trying to tell you, and I've been trying to tell you, I didn't even know, but I knew by what I was being told that M got a lot to do with this shit. So he just killed all these people, and he's saying it ain't over. They killed Nadine. She'd be alive if I was sober. I aim to get his woman and rock her. Time to put the wig up. Here come the helicopters. And then that was it. But I haven't said his name yet. That's what's weird about this fucking song. Why haven't I said who the fuck I'm talking about? And if you listen to, because that's the best writing I ever did. That's the way Biggie used to write. Because you had to really get into you had to become one of the characters to understand what the fuck he was talking about. That's what made Biggie. And remember, this song is written at least 5 years before Biggie. Maybe 92, maybe 2, at least 3. Because so far, all I told y'all was they tried to shoot him. They missed somehow, killed Nadine. And when you say go on for mine, well, you have to remember the word mine. A mine is also underworld. That's the divine well. Like when you dig for oil in a mine or whatever, and all that black oil come out, all that's symbolism of the divine darkness, the divine womb, the divine underworld. But also mind with a D is still your thought, which is still Thoth. 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 But that's still Gabriel. Or Hermes. Or even Mercury. So he's still putting his signature. If you're listening, you have the divine masculine and the divine feminine putting their signature on the song. So the whole time I still haven't said, as far as I can remember, I'm saying a whole rhyme, and I still haven't heard him say the name Bobby yet. All he lets you know is that when he killed Nadine and he returned fire, he immediately killed one of them. It was 4 dudes. He immediately killed one of them, but he never said really which one. And then it was 3 dudes still in the car trying to stoop low, like trying to take cover. And he basically went up to the car and killed all 3 of them. But he never said no names and shit. That's what made this song so fucking hard. So fucking gangster. Well, why are they shooting at you and who's in the fucking car? And he still ain't said who it is yet. But he's blaming one dude predominantly. But what y'all gotta understand, I didn't have no beef with Bobby. I ain't never had no beef with Bobby. So why'd I pick that nigga? Out of all the motherfuckers, and keeping this is years after high school and years after everything. So why did I pick that? Why was I given that name? And at this time, I don't know nothing about no esoteric stuff, no metaphysical stuff. This was not no type of Bible prophecy song. I ain't know nothing about that. So why? Because this was a timetable song given to me that I would know when Bobby shows back up in the neighborhood. And what y'all may not know is him and his mother both came into my store. Even that was weird. You just happen to be in the store, and I just got it working, and they kind of finishing up and leaving. But that was some weird shit. Because a kid, and like I said, it's a preacher that used to always come in that store. Now, when I was on a run, looking for the Lord, that preacher's church was one church I kind of ended up at, but I ended up at a lot of churches. And that preacher was literally coming to my store almost every day, to the point I was like, why is this motherfucker here almost every day? So finally he came up to me, and we talked for a couple of minutes or whatever. And I haven't seen him since. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't been back. I'm just saying I haven't seen him. When I used to see that dude like almost every day, every other day. So why was it important for him to keep coming in the store over and over again? So all these are metaphysical reasons that we just don't get the answers from. I aim to get his woman and rock her. Time to put my wig up. Here come the helicopters. Then he said, call the crib. Said a man was in trouble. Go to Estrick Park. Be there on a double. She brought a friend, a real gangster bitch. I killed her ass quick, left her body in a ditch. Me and her was there all alone. On her thighs, I proceeded to roam. Now, why is that important? Thighs. First off, thighs is what that angel took out of Jacob's spot. He took his thigh out of place according to that Bible. But for deeper scholars, we know that he did more than that. He actually did something with the dude's penis, because that's the seed comes out the penis. But in order to keep it nice, they try to say it was a thigh. But also, when I said Rome, okay, Rome is always like epitome of white supremacy. It's like a symbolism for white supremacy. Me and there were all alone. Me and her were there all alone. Let me think of it again. I killed their ass quick, left her body in a ditch. Me and her were there all alone. On her thighs, I proceeded to a room. Then I forget what I said. I said something about her body. And that's when I finally said his name. I said something about the body, but remember the church is the body. And remember what Hoove called Bobby, the black Hebrew. And so when I said something about the body, because that's one of the most important parts. That part right there, because that's the first time I mentioned his name through that whole song, and it really wasn't until this dude, the character, was taking vengeance on Bobby, who is now dead, by doing what he's doing to Bobby's girl before he kills her. So I'm gonna try to remember that rhyme, and I'll see what happens. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember. So it might have been another time I mentioned his, but I don't remember. But that's what's up. So for some reason I associated his name, which I'll never know. Like I said, I had to come from Gabriel. But Gabriel, ever since then, that house has been a marker. Even one time I was taking a garbage can down to the curb, and then he was taking his garbage can down to the curb at the same time. So I think that concludes this. Like I said, if I ever get a chance and go get the song, I'll play it. But I think I only mentioned his song. I think I mentioned him by name either once or twice. And I'm out. Yeah, so like I said, the way that song was written, like I said, I really can't explain it. But that's why I know that song was given to me to write. Because I don't even really mention Bobby's name to like the end. It's almost when he's raping, when the character is raping Bobby's woman or some shit. And then he might have said the name twice in the rhyme. But he says Bobby twice. I'm just remembering, I would have to really get the video or this tape and listen. Because you got to remember there's going to be a curse reversal of Deuteronomy 28. So whatever God allowed to be done to the Hebrews, it could be a curse reversal. So again, all this was planned out. This guy in my neighborhood that I grew up with, he's some type of timepiece. And because everything is happening, it's almost to be on high alert. And again, we're almost out of 2018. If their timetable is right, 2019 will mark 400 years. That's it.